In a city where churches are everywhere, there stood one abandoned church that no one dared to enter. Every midnight its bell rang by itself, echoing across the town. But one day, a group of youths tried to uncover the truth. What they discovered will shake your soul and leave you speechless. Before we dive in, click the like button, and if you're new here, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will the first to watch our next video. Now let's get into it. In the city of Enugu, there was once a powerful revival church called the Sanctuary of Fire. Decades ago, thousands gathered there. Miracles happened, politicians knelt, and people believed it was holy ground. But one day everything stopped. The pastor died mysteriously during a Sunday service. The congregation scattered. The church building, tall and Gothic, was locked up. Yet every midnight, without fail, the bell tower tolled 3 times. Dong, dong, dong. No one touched the rope, but the sound echoed through the city. People said, "It is cursed. Leave it alone." 4 university students, Chima, Ada, Kelvin, and Ngozi, decided to investigate. They were final year students of history and anthropology, writing a project on religious decline in Nigeria. Kelvin laughed. How can a bell ring by itself in 2025? There must be an explanation. Ada, a Christian, warned. Some things are not ordinary. Be careful. But curiosity pulled them. One evening, they sneaked into the abandoned church. The pews were dusty, cobwebs filled the corners, and rats scurried under broken chairs. But the pulpit still stood untouched. On the wall was an inscription, "My house shall be called a house of prayer." Yet beneath it, strange carvings of symbols were etched, symbols no one noticed before. Chima whispered, "Why would a church have these?" Suddenly the bell rang. Though midnight was still far, it tolled loudly above them. Dong, dong, dong. Ada screamed, "Let's leave." The next day, they visited Mama Ijoma, the oldest woman in the community. When they mentioned the church bell, she began to cry. She revealed the truth. The pastor who built that church was powerful, but not all his power came from God. Before every miracle service, he rang the bell at midnight, not to call angels, but to summon spirits. The bell was an altar. Every time it tolled, destinies were exchanged. That is why, though people were healed, many later died in secret. The students were horrified. Mama Ijoma continued, "The day the pastor died, the bell tolled by itself. Since then, no one has been able to silence it. It rings because blood still cries from the altar." That night, Ada had a terrifying dream. She saw the church full again, people singing, dancing, receiving miracles. But in the spirit, she saw chains wrapping around their necks. And each time the bell tolled, another soul was dragged beneath the altar. Kelvin wanted to publish their findings as a documentary. "This will make us famous. Everyone will know the truth." But Ada argued, "It's not just history. The bell is still active. If we don't destroy the altar, it will keep eating souls." They later discovered that Pastor Obina, the son of the late founder, was still alive. They visited him. He lived in poverty, broken and ashamed. "My father sold his soul," he confessed. "He buried placentas and blood sacrifices beneath the bell tower. That is why it rings. He told me before he died, unless someone dares to confront it with true worship, the bell will never stop." The youths looked. At midnight, they returned to the church with Pastor Obina. They carried only lanterns, Bibles, and oil. As the clock struck 12, the bell rang. Dong, dong, dong. The ground shook. From beneath the pulpit, dark shadows rose, shaped like the congregation of long ago. They sang, but their voices were hollow. "You cannot silence us," the shadows hissed. "This is our altar. Leave or join us." Kelvin dropped his camera in fear. "This is real. God help us." Ada began to sing worship. Her voice shook, but she refused to stop. "Jesus, let your light shine here." The shadows screamed. The bell tolled louder. Ngozi collapsed, seeing chains wrapping her legs. Chima tried to pull her, but an unseen force dragged them toward the altar. Pastor Obina wept. "Father, I renounce every covenant you made. Lord, forgive me." The bell cracked, but it rang again. Ada lifted the oil and poured it at the base of the bell tower. "The blood of Jesus speaks louder than this altar." Suddenly, lightning struck the tower. The bell shattered into pieces, falling to the ground. The shadows shrieked and vanished like smoke. The ground grew still. For the first time in decades, the night was silent. The next morning, the entire community gathered. They were shocked to see the bell destroyed. Mama Ijoma wept. "For years, we lived under a curse, thinking it was a blessing. But today, the chains are broken." Pastor Obina fell to his knees, free from his father's shame. The students returned to school, not just with a project, but with a testimony. Ada stood in the church ruins and said, "Not every sound in church is worship. Some bells call angels, but others call demons. Test every spirit. Not every miracle is from..." Moral of the story: history hides dark truths, but truth must be exposed. Some churches are altars of chains, not freedom. We believe you enjoyed this powerful story. Please share your thought. Like, and guess what? Another powerful story is coming in few days. So subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will be the first person to watch when it drops. God bless you for your time to watch this. Share to others to benefit from this story. See you in next story.